Our next topic is account payable. Account payable. I divide five parts account payable. Content. Okay. Other vendors with terms and with terms with holding tax is tedious. With GST. Advances. Advances. And invoice amount more than advance. Advance more than invoice. Account payable. I divide content into five parts with terms, with TDS, with GST, advance, invoice amount more than advance, advance more than invoice, and other vendors. Okay, our first topic is other vendors without any these conditions. Okay, let's start. Topic account payable means vendors or creditors. Let's see. It is used to process the business transaction related to suppliers or vendors or creditors like purchase invoice, payment to vendors, both full payment or part payment, and advance to vendors, payment through automatic payment programs, purchase returns, TDS, where every necessary and payment to vendors through bank extra for this purpose. We have to maintain the master records for every vendor with reference to company code. Every vendor with reference to company code. Every vendor master record is to be identified with the number like document numbers and GL numbers. Vendor master record numbers is controlled by the vendor account group. What is vendors account group? For GL, we are giving some accounts: asset account group, expenses account group, liabilities account group, revenue account group. Same like vendor master record number is controlled by vendor account group. What is vendor account group? Based on the similarities in the master data maintenance requirements, all the vendors are grouped together. All the vendors A, B, C, D is grouped together, which are called vendors account group. What is it is called vendors account group. The master record for the individual vendor are created under the respective vendor account group. Respective vendor account group. As every vendor account is identified with the number. We give one number 1, 2, 3, 4. We create and assign the numbers range for every vendor account group, and at the time of creating the vendor account, the user enters the account group under which the account is to be created. Then the system will take the number from the numbers of that vendor account group and assign it to the master record. Okay, we classify the vendor as domestic vendor or foreign vendor. And another way of classification may be vendors for raw material, vendors for stores and spares, and vendor for expenses. Okay, see this. Everyone note this diagram. Account group, vendors for raw material and numbers range 1 to 100. Vendors for stores and space 101 to 200. Vendors for expenses 201 to 300. Others 301 to 400. This is numbers range. Indication 01, 02, 03, Others give judged. Note down this. Pause video and note down. Next. In the real time, account payable component is integrated with metal management component. Account payable component is integrated with metal management component. When the metal management component is implemented and integrated with account payable component, the purchase order and purchase invoice are processed from material management module and purchase order, purchase invoice. Account payable component of financial accounting is used to process the payment to vendor. Why we used for payment to vendor? If the material management component is not implemented, then all business transactions related to vendor are processed from account payable component of financial accounting module. Okay, if company not implemented all vendors transactions processed through account payable. If company implemented material management, purchase order and purchase invoice processed from and payment is processed from account payable. Let's start practical version. Let's start. Let's open up. First, create the vendor account group. One thing I want to tell you, before go to account payable, first create vendor group. Next, create number range and assign this number range to vendors group. After, create tolerance group. Create sundry creditors account. Under sundry creditors account, create vendors record A, B, C. Define the document types. Document types, I already told you. D, sorry, creditors, KZ, KR, KA. Document types. Define this document types and numbers. Number range to documents. Okay. Number range to documents. This number range for vendor group. This number range for documents. Okay. This is the basic configurations for post the invoice. Okay. Let's start. First, create vendor group. First step is create vendor group. Path SPRO. First T, create vendors group. T code OB D3. OB D3.